वेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णो वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 2 श्लोक 46. I will chant. You can repeat each line. यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः। Starting from Shloka 39, Bhagavan is talking about one of the topics of Bhagavad Gita. It is called Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, as the very name suggests, involves karma. Karma means actions. Karma Yoga involves performance of actions. What kind of actions? One should perform proper actions. The proper actions are the actions that are enjoined by the Shastras, directly or indirectly. If the Shastras enjoin an action, it is considered the proper action from the spiritual point of view. So the proper action should be accompanied by proper attitude as well. The proper attitude while performing the action is called Ishwararpana Buddhi. Performance of the action as an offering to Ishvara. I am doing this action as the worship of Ishvara. This attitude has to be cultivated at the time of performing any action, like performing one's duties, any ritual, puja, etc. Then performance of any charitable work in the form of serving the other people, extending a helping hand to the other people. looking upon all one's activities as an offering to Ishvara, without taking any credit for the action, without expecting the result of the action. It is called Karma Yoga. So now one might as well ask why I should perform Karma Yoga. Instead, I can perform an action that is beneficial to me in this present life, that can bring immediate and tangible benefit to me, like money or like any sense pleasure. Why I should perform Karma Yoga? Then the Acharya say, Bhagavan says, if you perform Karma Yoga, you will get Chitta Shuddhi, you will get purification of mind, the mind will become pure. What do I gain if my mind becomes pure? Then Bhagavan says, then you are ready for Atma Jnana. You are ready for self-knowledge. The self-knowledge that is revealed in the Shastras, including Bhagavad Gita, dawns in a pure mind. Self-knowledge takes place only in a pure mind. Only a pure mind is capable of having the self-knowledge, having the Atma Jnana. Yeah, yeah. Therefore, to have a pure mind, one should perform Karma Yoga. And thereby your mind will become pure and you will get Atma Jnana. What if I get Atma Jnana? You will get moksha, because Atma Jnana, self-knowledge, is the means for moksha. Then this gentleman asks, why I should work for moksha? Why I should choose moksha at all in my life? Why I cannot choose the material pleasure? Why I cannot choose to enjoy this life? I will build a house in Switzerland. I will build another house in Darjeeling. I will build another house in California. I will have 3 houses at least. And whenever I feel like staying in California, I will stay there. When I want to stay in Switzerland, I will stay there. When I want to stay in Darjeeling, I will stay there. Why I should strive for moksha? I can enjoy my life here in this world. Then the Shastra says, this life is temporary. Therefore, anything that you do within this life, it is going to give you only temporary happiness. Even if you have 100 houses in 100 countries, your life is going to be temporary. Therefore, the happiness that you get is going to be temporary. After the death, you are not going to continue to be the owner of those houses. Therefore, you cannot enjoy for a long. Therefore, you have to seek something more than enjoying this life. Then I have an answer. I will do certain types of karmas that are enjoined in the Shastra. The Shastra enjoins certain karmas, certain rituals, etc. As a result of those rituals, I will get Swarga. I can go to higher lokas. And those lokas are going to be very long. Unlike the human birth, the higher lokas are more long lasting. Instead of 100 years of span of life, in the higher lokas you can get a long lifespan. And you will get greater enjoyments also. More refined enjoyments. So by performing the karma that are specifically enjoined for going to Swarga, such karmas are enjoined in the Veda. What karma, perform them, etc. And they will take me to Swarga. Why I should strive for moksha? Going to Swarga is not moksha. Going to Swarga is like going to America or going to Switzerland. It is also a holiday, but a longer holiday. Even in Swarga, you get material enjoyment. So, I will strive for Swarga. I will make effort for Swarga by performing the Vedic rituals that are specifically enjoined to go to Swarga. Why I should work for moksha? This is my question. Then Bhagavan answers, any other happiness whether it is any material source of happiness in this earth, or whether it is the happiness that you get in Swarga or anywhere, it is just a fraction of the satisfaction that you derive in jnana, that you derive in moksha. In other words, moksha surpasses all the material sources of satisfaction, both in this world as well as in the other world. The Vedic karmas, the Vedic rituals that lead to Swarga, even such Vedic rituals cannot promise the happiness, cannot promise the extent of satisfaction that you derive in moksha. To explain this, Bhagavan makes use of an example. The example of a water body. In a village, there was no rain for many years. Therefore, there was a lot of scarcity of water. When there is scarcity of water, the people in the village would walk miles together to a water body in the neighborhood where there was little water available to supply the entire village. They would walk miles, 5 miles, 6 miles, and fetch water in their pots and walk all the way back carrying the water. And it was a small water body. You could see this in the villages. The men as well as women, they walk with many pots in their hands. One pot on this shoulder, another pot on this shoulder, and two pots on the head. That is how they walk to carry water. That is the plight of the village. But then there was a great Mahatma. He did tapas, some special anushthan. And because of his special tapas in the village, there started a stream of water in the middle of the village. A gushing stream of water is started, and it developed into a huge lake, a huge water body full to the brim with water. Then what happened? The entire village has a very big water body with abundance of gushing water in it. And all the villagers jumped with the joy when this happened. Now, once they have such a huge water body, will anybody bother to walk 5 miles to find that small source of water? Nobody will do it. They will just abandon the small source of water, the small water body a little away from the village, when they have found abundance of water within the village itself. Likewise, moksha means finding the abundance of happiness, finding the abundant source of happiness within ourselves. And then any external source of happiness that promises just a limited happiness with a lot of effort, it becomes redundant. Therefore, a jnani who has found the true nature of his self, he has found the perennial source of happiness within himself. And when he has found a perennial source of happiness within himself, he will not seek happiness anywhere outside himself, because the inner source of happiness serves the purpose, because it surpasses the satisfaction that any external source can provide. Therefore, the moksha is worth seeking, moksha is worth attempting for, worth striving for, because moksha surpasses all other pursuits, including the pursuit of swarga, including the pursuit of the higher lokas that are accomplished by means of performing some special Vedic rituals. Therefore, yavanartha udapani sarvatah samplutodaki. Sarvatah samplutodaki. When there is a large water body, some commentators say it is samudra, ocean, or a big lake. I prefer to say a big lake, a large lake, because that is where you find sweet water. In an ocean, though you have water, it is not drinkable. It does not serve the purpose. Therefore, a huge water body, a lake, which has formed within the village, in the very center of the village, Then udapane yavan arthaha, the purpose that is served by an udapana. Udapana means a small water body. It does not serve any purpose, any much purpose, when one has already found the large water body with the perennial supply of water. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. Similar is the purpose served by all the Vedic rituals. Sarveshu vedeshu, all Vedas stand for all the Vedic rituals that lead to Swarga, etc. The Kamya karmas, the Sakama karmas. Vijanataha brahmanasya, for a brahmana, for a jnani who knows the truth. Vijanataha, one who knows the Atma. For such a person, the Vedic rituals, the Kamya karma of the Veda serves only that much purpose, as much purpose is served by a small water body when one has found a large water body with abundant supply of water. So once you get Atma Jnana, once you get moksha, all other pursuits, whether it is a secular pursuit, a mundane pursuit, or whether it is a Vedic pursuit, like the pursuit of Swarga, all other pursuits become redundant because the satisfaction that you derive in moksha surpasses all other satisfactions. Also, the satisfaction that you derive in moksha include the satisfaction that you derive in the other pursuit. In moksha, you get the infinite satisfaction, the boundless satisfaction. And when you have found a boundless satisfaction, any other limited satisfaction is included in it. The finite is included in the infinite. Therefore, it is worth working for moksha at any cost. And how to work for moksha? One has to get jnana. Work for Atma Jnana. And how to get Atma Jnana? One should have Chitta Shuddhi. One should have a pure mind. And how to get the pure mind? Bhagavan says, perform Karma Yoga. And then Bhagavan explains Karma Yoga from the next shloka onwards. verse 47, Shloka 47. I will read. Please chant each line as I read. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. So, Karma Yoga, this shloka, as well as the following three shlokas, are very important shlokas because they define Karma Yoga. They define the nature of Karma Yoga. Any action is not Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, to be Karma Yoga, it should be a proper action. If a person is stealing and cheating others while doing his business, then it cannot be called Karma Yoga, because the action that he is doing, it is not a proper action. The action that you perform, it has to be in keeping with the dharma, in keeping with the values laid down by the Shastra. Then it is a proper action. For example, a grihastha, he is supposed to take care of his family, and to take care of his family, he has to earn money, and he is earning money to take care of his family. Then it is a proper action because he is performing the duty as a grihastha. If he is earning money through legitimate means, so the action should be within the purview of dharma. It should be in keeping with dharma. Then it is a proper action. Then another question that has to be asked to determine whether it is Karma Yoga or not is what attitude he is doing the action. Is he doing it for some material benefit as the end goal? Whether he is doing the action for some material goal or is performing the action for his chitta shuddhi, for his own spiritual growth, with Ishwararpana buddhi, with the attitude of surrender to Ishvara. as an offering to Ishvara? One should ask this question. If the answer is yes, he is performing the action with Ishvararpana Buddhi, then it is Karma Yoga. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Bhagavan says, Bhagavan is addressing Arjuna. Arjuna is Bhagavan's student, and Bhagavan wants Arjuna to be a karma yogi. He wants Arjuna to perform his duty with the attitude of a karma yogi. Therefore, he says, Karmani eva adhikaraha te. Te means your adhikara. What you are entitled to do, what you are supposed to do, it is your adhikar, your entitlement. It is karmani eva. It is in performance of karma. What you are expected to do is your action. The te can be connected once again. Te karmani eva te adhikaraha. Your adhikara is in your karma. You are expected to perform your karma. Your karma means the karma which you are supposed to perform in keeping with, according to your station in life. Which is called swadharma. Swadharma means one's own dharma, one's own duties. My duty may be different from your duty, and your duty may be different from somebody else's duty. What an individual is supposed to perform, it depends on his station in life, where he is positioned in life, in what situation he is placed in life, etc. Therefore, your adhikara is in your karma. Karmani eva, only in karma. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You do not have adhikara in karma phala. The result of karma, you are not entitled to the result of karma. Means do not have attachment to the result of karma. Instead, be ready to accept the outcome as the grace of Ishvara. A karma can have various outcomes. Sometimes you may get an outcome according to your expectations. Sometimes you may get an outcome better than your expectations also. And sometimes the outcome may be disappointing. You do not get what you expect. There are all three possibilities. In all these possibilities, one should develop acceptance. One should be ready to accept the outcome as the grace of Ishvara. Even if a positive outcome, or even if it is a negative outcome, developing acceptance to the result as a grace of Ishvara. That is what Bhagavan means when he says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. You do not have adhikara in karma phala. You are not the one who should determine the karma phala. After the karma is performed, leave it to Ishvara. Let him give the karma phala. Your adhikara is in karma. You have to do your karma properly with the proper attitude. There it ends. What result you should get, it is up to Ishvara. Therefore, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturbhuhu. Shankaracharya explains it. If one expects the result of the karma, if one performs karma only with the desire for a result in the form of material gain, then that particular karma becomes responsible for punya and papa, which in turn give rise to another janma. In other words, if one performs kamya karma, karma with the desire, without Ishwararpana buddhi, if one performs karma, then that kind of karma does not lead him towards spiritual growth. Instead, the karma becomes binding in nature. The karma binds a person to punya and papa, thereby giving another birth, thereby entangling the jiva in the cycle of samsara. Instead, if one performs karma with the proper attitude, it becomes a liberating karma, leading towards spiritual progress. Now, Bhagavan is discouraging Arjuna from performing sakama karma, because sakama karma does not lead to moksha. Instead, it will lead to bondage. It will lead to further bondage. Therefore, he says, Ma karma phala heturbhuhu. Karma phala hetuhu. Here, karma phala means janma, samsara. Do not become a cause of your own samsara. Karma phala hetu means cause of samsara. You do not become a cause of samsara by performing sakama karma. Instead, perform karma yoga. Mate sangostva karmani. Arjuna might ask, if I perform sakama karma, I will get into samsara. I will get into further bondage. Therefore, let me rest. Let me stop performing all the karmas. Because if I do any karma, whether it is punya or papa, it is going to lead to bondage. In that case, I will not do any karma. I will just sit quiet. Then Bhagavan says, Mate sangostva karmani. Do not get into akarma, akarmani, non-performance of karma, simply sitting in a place, remaining idle. Mate sangaha astu. Let you not have interest in that. Do not get interested in sitting idle. One should not sit idle also. In the meantime, the sakama karma is not encouraged. That means one should always keep performing nishkama karma, which is called karma yoga. Yogasthah kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So, further description of the attitude of a karma yogi. He Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya is a name of Arjuna. He Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, yogasthah kuru karmani. Perform karma. Karmani kuru. Perform the karmas. How? Yogasthaha. Abiding in the yoga. Yogasthaha. Yoge tishtati iti yogasthaha. One who abides in yoga. While performing karma, one should abide in yoga. Then it becomes karma yoga. What is yoga? Siddhya siddhyoho samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga is samatva. Samatva means the attitude of sameness. Sameness towards action as well as sameness towards the result of action. The sameness should be understood. Sameness towards action. Sometimes we feel proud of certain actions because we think certain actions are superior, and we also think certain actions are inferior. We have different attitude towards different actions. One may be doing a so-called superior action, an action that is considered superior, and then he may feel proud of himself. He may have a sense of superiority. And another person, he may have a sense of inferiority. I am doing a small action. So there is a sense of superiority and a sense of inferiority. But when we understand that the action that we are doing is Paramatma's action, then the action loses its superiority or inferiority. Whether it is a superior action from the point of the world, or whether it is an inferior action from the standpoint of the world. For a karma yogi, it is same. It is Paramatma's work. It is Ishvara's work. Somebody is decorating the Bhagavan in a particular temple, and he thinks this work is superior because he is getting the opportunity to decorate the image of Bhagavan. It is a superior action. And another person is asked to clean after everything gets over. He is asked to clean the temple. And he feels, I got inferior work. My work is inferior. And he might as well grumble. This happens when one does not have the attitude of samatva. Samatvam yoga uchyate. But when he develops the attitude of samatva, for him any work is Bhagavan's work. Therefore he does not grumble. Instead he performs as the work of Ishvara. Likewise, sameness towards the result of action. The result can vary. There can be a desirable result, or there can be an undesirable result, disappointing result. Having sameness towards the result, accepting everything as the grace. You get a desirable result, accept it as the grace. And sometimes you get undesirable result, disappointing result, accept even that as the grace of Ishvara. It is samatvam as far as the result is concerned. So sangam tyaktva karmani kuru. So samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatva is called yoga. The attitude of a karma yogi. So yogastha kuru karmani, have this samatva, have this attitude of yoga and perform karma. And one more instruction, sangam tyaktva, giving up the attachment both to the karma as well as karma phala. Attachment to the karma, when we take pride in doing the karma, it is my work, it is superior, then it is sangha. And we want credit for what we are doing, it is sangha. Sangam tyaktva karmani kuru. Give up the sangha, give up the attachment and do the karma. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva karmani kuru. One more instruction for a karma yogi. Be equal in both siddhi and asiddhi, both success and failure. One should be equal. And this is nothing but the explanation of yogastha kuru karmani. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva, being same in both success and failure. Karmani kuru, perform the karmas, then it is called karma yoga, and then it leads to chitta shuddhi, which will in due course of time lead to moksha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate.